Hello, everyone. I think we are live. So, welcome to Create on the Fly. I'm Franz Martin. Most people know me by Frenchie. Yes, yes. Most people know me by Frenchie. You can find more of my creation on my blog at frenchiestamps.com. So, today it's a special edition, I say, because this card that I share, and I'm going to flip my camera here in a minute to show you on the my iPad. It was a card that Cheryl, one of my teammates, did every month. I do a challenge, and that was with the paper Nature Walk, and everybody wanted to know how to create that card. So I said, well, after so many requests, I don't have that die, so I borrow Holly. So most people know me. I'm a simple stamper. It's dies. It's not what I gear up for. I'm more like the fun fold techniques and such. So with that being said, I'm going to flip this and we're going to get started. So Cheryl, if you're watching, thank you so much for inspire so many to create with the arch dies. So talking about the arch die, though, I want to tell you the arch die, the dies are continue, but the stamp set that coordinate with that, it's on the last chance. And I was looking at the stamp sets just before going live. It's marked down from 21 to 1680, and it's while supplies last. The arch set carryover though. You get some nice thing in that. You get know you are love. You know what? Maybe here I can show it there. Okay, so see it show know you are love. You're simply fantastic. You're the ray of sunshine. I love that saying. I think that's a great one. Thanks. Um, Now I cannot see. So something. It's too small for me to read, but it's a very nice one. And you get airplanes. I was surprised I didn't get it, to be honest with you all. So that stamp set that coordinate with the dice, it's while supplies last. Okay, now I force my eyes, it just itch. So let me yeah, I know those dice. So many of you use them all the time. So I got some good pointers for you guys. So let me push this down here. Here we go. So this was Cheryl's card, okay? So she used, you know what? I think that's the same. No, I'm using a different flowers. I did a sample, and my sample, again, it's um, more masculine put it that way. That's the sample I did. But when I did that, I'm like, it's something I did wrong. Maybe you guys can point it out right away, but I'm going to tell you in a minute. So, the more you play with stuff, the more you get acquainted with. Well, I learned in just that little bit, so I get some good pointer. So then Cheryl used 3 layers. I'm using just 2. Um, I'm going like the door view, whatever. So 2 was good for me. And she used the flower in the center. So the one I'm using tonight, believe it or not, I'm using a flower. So that was Cheryl. And then it was so many questions. And Lori was sweet enough and she came and she put her C here. And then, whoops, more there over here. So, Lori get 3 layers also. I'm going to tell you how to do it with 3 layers. I'm using 2 layers, not just because I'm cheap, just because what I'm doing, I think the 2 layers was good. And one thing that I want to point out, they both split in the center after. See? So it really looked like doors. Well, mine over here, I glue it and cut it right in the middle. And that for me, it's a big no-no because it looked, so I need a bit of that framing of the door, okay? So don't glue it together first. You're going to cut it and then glue it. So right away, here's a good tip for you. So that's what it came about. So Lori thanks, and Lori used the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So her card must be smaller, or maybe we don't count the dice the same way. The way that I count dice, and I didn't ask Lori, I always go the left to the right, just like I'm reading a book. So left to the right when I use my circle, my square, my triangle, name it, or hearts, or whatever. When I say I use number 2 and 4, I start here 1, 2, 3, and so on. So Lori said she used the third, the fourth, and the fifth from the largest. I'm using the largest. It's going to fit in a regular envelope. Let me show you. I got envelopes right here, I think. Yeah. So here's, see, it fit perfect. So so I use the largest one, and then I use the next one. So I use 1 and 2. That's the way I would read it, me. But like I said, we all got different ways that we read and such. Me, I go just like I read a book, or from the left to the right. So I use 1 and 2. And then if I would do a third level, or third layer, I should say, I would use the next one after. Now, I wanted to do windows, just like the top window, like the peak window. So I use the smallest one. Okay, I use the number 10 because it's 10 of them. So I use the smallest one. I'm going to show you what I did with that. But after playing with that this afternoon, I'm like, no, I'm going to explain why. Okay, so you saw that Cheryl used just a plain paper. I mean, the nature walk, it's more like a marbly paper. And then Lori used a scenery. Well, I decided I'm going to do both of them tonight, but all on one card. I bet you say, what? Well, here, it's coming. So I did me with the gears and Valentine's. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, right, for Valentine's. So that's what I done. And I think open like that, it really looked like, those arch door, right? Here we go. Now, if you wonder where is Sending Love with, I'm using that tonight, and next week I'm going to do Valentine's, and I'm going to use that again. And that is in this month, product of the month. If you place an order of $75 or more before tax, shipping, and before the coupons, you can add this stamp set for $5 in your cart. So every month they switch, but it's only available while supplies last, meaning that maybe we're going to run out by January 20th, or maybe it's going to carry over because they're going to have more. We don't know, but it's no promise. So they get it the first part of the month. It's never the same. Like this month was just the 6th it started. Most month it started around the 3rd or such. But so that is the stamp set. But when I look at it online, I didn't pay attention to the sample. I want to point out it is a big one, meaning that I'm looking for just a regular card. So that's gonna that start. Let me show you. Okay, I got one here. So that was when we work on last week, I think, and such. So you see happy birthday down here. See, it's almost the width. So it's almost 4 inch, not quite, but almost. So I want to put that out there so you know. Sending Love, that's the one I'm using tonight because I'm going towards like Valentine's. So Sending Love was perfect for that. So you see, or You're on My Mind, they're not small greeting, okay? So Minnie was complaining the greeting was small, they couldn't read it. That I think you can read it. I cannot see without your glasses because if I take my glasses off, I don't see nothing. So I won't say that, but it's a big size. Okay, so for the flower, I'm using Gallery Bloom, and the funny part about that is I use some of the dies because I use these here, a bunch of them. But my stamp set was never been ink. See, these never been ink neither. So, I'm like, that's good that Cheryl make me get my flowers out. So what I'm going to do, I'm using Memento black ink. We're going to tap, tap, tap there. And then we're going to smack this here. And do you guys want to watch me color the whole thing or you want me to skip? It's all up to you. I got the color here. I'm going to start and see what you guys are going to say. So for the leaf, I'm starting with the dark old olive. And I'm not big at taking a lot of time to color. I'm just adding a little bit of the dark here on the leaves. And then I'm going to go with the light color, the light, might keep it shot there. Oh, yeah, that happened earlier too. So you see, I need a light color. I'm not, I wouldn't say you convert me to use dye once in a while, but I like to, it's more like techniques, like I said, and fold. And I mean, I use dye, don't get me wrong. And I'm going to be honest with all of you here. I tell you guys pretty much how I see things. One of the reasons why I tend to stay away of the dyes, it's because we got a lot of newcomer of stampers, and I think that's really discouraging for them. Because if they have to buy the dyes, so that's a bundle, it's at least $50. They have to buy the machine, it's more than $100, and then paper. They just to start making a card, it's $500. So if you can start, I say bite size, just like ink, paper, stamps, well, that's affordable. But if you get, and some people use 3 different bundle on a card, well, ouch, that's very, we don't think about that, us that we're, long time stamper. We really don't think about that, those things. But when you're in the business to try to sell, so I should sell it, use it, sell it, that I understand that. But two, I don't want to scare people that they need everything. So that's one of my reason. Now, if you see what I'm doing, I'm adding yellow on my leaf. I always do that. I think the yellow on the leaf really strike. Now for the center, I got pecan pie here. I'm going to add a little bit of pecan pie. But again, I'm going to go back with the Daffodil Delight. And this is the light one. I should have had the dark maybe, but for the leaf, I wanted the light. So I just bring that. So I'm going to go there and add a bit of yellow to there. Now for my flowers, sometimes I start with the light, sometimes I always start with the dark most of the time, but sometimes I push up, sometimes I push down. This time I'm going to push down. So this one is the light Highland Heather, and then I get the light Bubble Bat. I'm mixing them. Yes, the paper trimmer and all that. So now you understand why I don't use dye all the time. I know a lot of people, I mean, they don't do a card without dyes, and that's okay, absolutely. But I don't want to discourage the new ones. So if you're new to my channel or you're new to stamping and that, uh, you don't need all the bell and whistle send smile in the mail. Trust me, you can make beautiful cards without dyes and everything. You can start with just paper, ink, and a stamp. And sometimes you can start with just designer syrup paper, really, and a greeting stamp set, and you can get very lovely thing. I'm going to do a little bit. I do where the artist did, all the lines. I do that. This one, I'm going to do a little bit more like where the petal in the back. I'm going to do that darker there and a little bit more on the side there. And now we're going to, so if you would want darker, you would push up, but I want light in. So I'm going to push that down. So meaning that I'm going to take my lighter one here, and it's two different color here. I wanted kind of that pinkish peachy there. So you see, I just push that down and it blend very lovely together. Now, if you color from, let's say, the bottom pushing up, usually that's going to bring it darker. Now it's the light at the top and I'm pushing it down. It's just little tips here and there. Et voila. So now you have it. Now, see, it was quick and easy to color. Like I said, I don't fuss much. So now this here, you're going to cut this here on your machine, and then you're going to cut an extra one, okay? Let me cut this here. Okay, and the reason why you want to cut an extra one, what did I do? Okay, I don't want to lose this here. Okay, the reason why that you don't want to, you want to cut an extra one, because when you color with blends, it's going to bleed under. That is normal. It's not because you pressed too hard or you did something wrong. That is normal. I burned myself there, and I don't know with what. I think it's a burn. I don't know. It's weird. So that it's absolutely normal. Okay, so don't think you're doing something wrong. It's normal. Now we're going to crank it up a notch here. I'm taking a pecan pie and I'm going to go just around it, all around, because I'm putting that on wood and I think that's going to just blend better like this. I could be wrong, but I could be right. It's really aged my flour. Okay, we're going to leave that aside. Now, the next step, I pre-cut quite a bit of stuff here. So I am using, I'm going to show you the other flour that I did color, see? Okay, I'm going to put that right here. I'm using, it's the Nature or, oh, I put it in the description, this foil paper. That's going to be for my hinge. It's not the copper, it's the new one we get at Christmas. So we're going to cut one. You know what? I can cut right here because I don't need lots. Okay, so then I get a bigger piece there. Okay, 1 by 2. That's perfect, really. Okay, 1 by 2. And on the 1 inch, we're going to score that at ½ inch, okay? Score that at ½ inch. Score, not cut. Score. Did I cut? Oh, it felt like it cut. Okay, now we're going to cut. We need 4 of this ½ inch by 1 there. ½ inch by 1, but it's score. So 1, 2, and that's going to make 3, 4. That's going to be the inch with a H for our door. Here we go. Now, for this one, I'm going like natural wood or whatever wood. And I was debating if my framing was, you know, like off-white or just wood colors. I went with crumb cake. So you're going to need 2 of this. And these here, it's the large, okay? The large one, you need 2. The larger one, you need 2. Now, in the number 2 that I call, you need 2 designer syrup paper and 1 vanilla. So you're going to need that with the number 2. Now, if you want to do 3 layers, this one here, instead of the designer syrup paper, going to be another piece of cardstock color of your choice. And then number 3 would be the designer syrup paper. This is for the inside writing. It wouldn't change really. It's this, okay? So it's all up to you. I'm using the country wood. That's a repeat paper. I absolutely love this paper. And then I am, for the scenery like Lori did, I am using Beautiful Gallery. I was debating to do one in this too with like the gray, the wood that it's in the gray. But then I did this one for more guyish. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do in the brown. So I switched my paper. And I was planning to do the front and the inside with the same one. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm going to mix Lori and mix Cheryl all under one card here, okay? So it's all how it happened. You did it, well, you missed a little bit, but not that much, Wanda. You can watch the replay. Everything it's recorded, right? Here we go. Now, we need one of that, it's for like the back of the card, okay? And one of that, it's for the front. So what I did on this one here, I went ahead and cut that. I mean, glue this and then cut it. That's a no-no, okay? Because like I said, it looked funny that I don't have nothing there. I almost feel to put a slit of cardstock there. But you know what? Inside, I'm like, I'm putting it separate. Because after it was done, I'm like, and I didn't really look at their card close. So I measured the large one, and it's almost, I'm going to say almost 4-inch, but it's not 4-inch. You see, it's just off a bit. So what you can do, you can fold this here right into and pinch it. So then you know exactly where to cut it, or you can wing it and just above the 2. Not quite the line, but just above the 2 there. You can wing it that way. Now, just one of them of the crumb cake that you're going to cut in half. Okay, so you get this. Now, this one also, this one here, it's a little bit over 3.5. So it would be like 1 3/4 and a smidge more. Or you can just fold it, just pinch it at the bottom, then you know exactly where this one, it's dark. Maybe, okay, I'm gonna put it this way here and then cut it. So this is another one. Now, this one also need to be cut. And it was very much easier when I glue it together, right? But this way, the finish going to be much nicer. And another thing, I'm just thinking out loud here, you can take like a pencil. I don't know why, my pencil always walk away here. And I got some at both desks. You can just fold this here and then you can come with a pencil and make a mark, so then it's easier. See? That's what I'm saying. The more you play with things, the easier it gets, you know, the more you can and see. Now you get your 2 P's. So now we got all our P's to create the card. And believe me or not, this is a very simple card. Now the best thing is, the first thing that I found, it's to put our inch first. So to put that first, I'm going to go ahead and put on one corner. And tonight I'm not really using glue dots. I could do this with glue dots, but I find it better with liquid glue. So maybe when I use liquid glue, you can think I'm using glue dot and you can have your sip. Put it right at the edge. Never mind if it's glued there, because it's going to get covered, okay? So don't worry about that. Put it right at the edge here. Now we're going to do the other side, and I find out to make it very easy to have it equal, it's take my ruler here, put it right at the edge and go this way. I keep it straight there so I know it's straight there. So my inch going to be equally. They don't have to be equally, but I don't know. I think that it's good to have it equally, okay? Now right at the edge. So you don't have to measure that. That is just to keep your front, the door attached to the house. Put it that way, okay? Now I'm going to come here, put the glue here. Then I'm going to go about 1 inch from the bottom here. Go right at the edge. Now, oops, don't. Here we go. Now I'm going to come here, put my ruler there, and put my other one. So this way you don't really see where you attach your card together. Voila. Oops, keep it straight. Okay, now open this up. Now, if you want to stamp on this, I would say go ahead and stamp on that first. And we're going to do, instead of sending love, I'm going to put you are on my mind. That's what I'm going to put. And wow, the wind picked up. That is crazy. Okay, I will, that one just went crazy. Okay, I'm going to put that right here. So You're on My Mind can be really for many, many occasions, right? Can be You're on My Mind, I miss your birthday, or whatever it is. Okay, so now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and glue that. I'm telling you guys, the wind is just ridiculous right now. And we're going to go put that right here. See, it's coming along, right? Now, keep this close. And we're going to take this one before we add any paper to it, and we're going to glue that here. Now, the trick to this is to try to keep it straight. See, I'm off there. You want that straight. So what you're going to do, this is why I like the tombow, because the tombow you get chance to move. One side at a time. And even if you smear the glue a bit, that's pretty much okay. And the reason why I say that, because we're going to have another paper on top. Oops, why? If I would be in the South right now, I would think that we're having a tornado. I know we can have tornado up here too, but okay, we need the okay, now we're going to do the other side. Then we're going to do the same thing. That's straight. Oops. Half there. Okay. Yeah. Why this one don't want to glue? I put the glue, did I? Yeah, okay. I guess I didn't press hard enough. Make sure you press hard. Yes, the font, it's very nice, Lori. You got, they call it a two-step stamping. It's because that you can like put those one on top just because it's your birthday. Well, just because I don't know with what. Uh, thank you. Just because I don't know where I would chop that, but to fabulous friends, happy birthday. You can overlap almost. So it's kind of good. Yes, pecan pie for the greeting. Yes, that's what I did, pecan pie. Now I'm going to take these and now I'm going to glue that. But see, I'm going to push it a little bit more there and I'm going to keep a crack in the metal so that way it look like the door. This one, it don't. That was where I learned, right? So I always say it's still good. It's not that bad. It's just that, the more you do thing, the more you're like, oh, it's something not right. And then you figure what you did that could be better. So this year, in this case, that was one right there. Right away, I was like, something it's off. And then I was like, oh, I glued them together and cut. I should after. And then here, and I think it's because the inside, I had put it after because I had to do the inch inside, so I didn't put the paper, and that's what made me realize. I'm like, oh, now I get it. Voila. Okay, so the front of my car, like you come in the house, I get the wood there. Now, when this is open, I thought, oh, I opened to the outdoor. And that's, oops. Oh, yep, yep. No, yep, it fit this way. This is where I'm going to put that. So when it opened, it looked like you're looking on the outdoor. So that's how I decide to mix both Lori and Cheryl's card. I'm like, well, I'm going to keep the front of the door very plain, just like the wood and such. And then the inside, I will put this. And I'm putting the flower in the front, and I was debating, well, this it's more like just the feel. So I'm like, the flower up front gonna be perfect. Um, so when it open, you're gonna see partial of the flower there. Here we go. Is that cool? See, it's very, I think it's very lovely. Now, the front, uh, I told you I did those little windows there. See? And then I'm debating, do I want the window? I'm thinking it's those hobbits or whatever French thing that showed you get those. And I tried to cut like right in the center. Well, it was not, I got my paper here. It would be way too uh, easy to make an error. I'm going to share why. Uh, I thought I had my paper here. I must have tossed it. Okay. So let me bring this here. Let me show you something here with the small one. Let me get a paper. So if you guys want to do it, you get a clue. Okay, so you put your die and then you take your plate and you just want partial of your die. Pass your plate in. See, I roll it there. So that would be better if you tape your die so it's not moving and you decide how far you want it. Now I'm going to say, okay, I want it about this. Now you're going to roll on. Oops, I put the handle on the wrong way here. Okay, let me turn this around here. Here we go. Okay, now let me remove this. And see, now you get your thing. Now, I could have put this here and just put my, might as well do it so you guys understand what I'm saying. So now I'm putting my die over there. Again, you're going to have to glue that there. Now you just want the partial at the bottom. That's it if you want to keep your stitch, okay? Then I'm going to go down. So see, now I change all my size, right? And I got my stitches there. Well, you can do that in the front of the card, but if you're not just right, it would be so easy to make an error. So I'm like, I don't have the patience for that today. So you can cut. So you see, I got all the stitch there. Can you see? I think so. And everything. So if you want to do door, because I wanted to go through all those layer and put a vellum. I would have put a vellum if it would have been all the way through. Then I wanted to do my frame around. Well, this, I couldn't figure the bottom. I would have to do just a strip glue under and maybe cut at 45. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of remodel there. So I'm like, no. So this year I'm debating if I want it there or not, because I'm not sure. I'm going to use removable tape, and you guys, you tell me after I'm done if it belonged there or not, okay? And cut it half, then you don't have the stitch. If I cut it with my scissors, you don't have the stitch there. So if you want to keep all, like all the stitch, you have to do the other thing. So that's why I did it that way, Catherine. Does it make sense? Because I want the round part, and then I wanted to keep, because I got all the stitch around. That's why instead of a frame, I use my dauber to put some color around. So to get the stitch at the bottom, I had to recut it. This is not straight. That's what it's nice about. Okay, look like two eyes to me. I don't know. I'm not sold on this yet, okay? So this, remember, I told you we need to cut another one. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, they got the stitch on this. And the stitch are right at the edge. I mean, very close to the edge. You don't have much place to play. Put that together. Now, if you want handles, you can put two embellishment like I did on this one. I put handles. That's my little handles there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and this, I'm going to put this right here. So I still can remove this if I want. And I'm going to put that with dimensional. Oh, I like that, Terry. Okay, let me try that. Terry just give me a thing. I mean, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. That's it. Let me bring... okay, let me bring my... That makes sense. Yes. Okay, I'm going to put that straight here. And straight here. Okay, 1 minute. Let's see if this is okay. So about F. Okay. Okay, that's about straight. Like this. And about F. my dot there, I should be careful. Okay, this I need to have that in the center so I can this way. Here we go. Yes, old church door, something, something, yes. And the reason why I'm using my grid here, it's because it's easy to have straight line and such on both. So now it doesn't matter if it's in the center, really, it's not. I'm going to put that about, I think about right here. A little bit higher up. Voila. Okay, now let's try that. So I just used my marker there. Now I'm thinking we could do stained glass with a flower something, and that would have been cool. The one I got a video on stained glass with window sheet. That would have been very cool. That changed the whole thing, really. Okay, and now I'm going to use my, yeah, put the, I agree. If I would put a cross at the top, it would be a church. Yes, yes, yes. Now I'm going to put that right here. So then if I decide that I would want to remove, because I just put the tape. So I'm anxious what you guys going to say. Et voila. And she had put, you know, embellishment here and there. This one, I'm just going to keep it like a door, and et voila. So you see, it's very simple to make. I mean, very, it's just cut it. So you cut your paper before you glue it, okay? Cut your paper in half before you glue it, because you see that strip in the middle make a big difference. This one here. So you know what? I will take this here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. You can tell it was bugging me, right? Well, let me remove this here just for a second. Okay, I'm going to take my, this is basic gray, and my cardstock, it's basic gray. And this should make a big difference. Because it was like something was not jiving. It was like, it was a regular door, whatever, not a split door. It was something, it was really bugging me. Let me lift that up a bit here. I can give some character to the wheel there. Here we go. See, just that, it add a lot. So now let me do the other side. So when you learn from your mistake, I'm going to say, or whatever, don't toss it away. A lot of time, just leave it, or sometimes you're crafting, it doesn't matter if it's card or anything, you're crafting and something, it's like, oh, it's not what you're looking for. Leave it on your desk, walk away, and when you come back, a lot of time you see something different. I absolutely love this now. See, it was just say to brush off a bit of ink, and boom, it really finished my card. Now I like it. Absolutely, day and night in my book. Yes. You see, now I see that definition of the card. So now I had another gear here. You wanted glue dots? I would, because the glue move out of there. Here we go. And there. And I thought this was with the gear. I used the gear last week, and I like to use the same stamping that a couple times so then people get more than one ID when they purchase it. And I thought that was perfect for more masculine for Valentine's. And look at this. This one here, I think what we could add though, it's some wink of Stella. This one it's not. That really the camera don't do justice, but it add a little bit of bling. Et voila. So, and now when you open that, see, I think that is cool. When you open it up, it look like the outside, you're looking on the outside. And this is your front of your door. I thought to put little flowers at the bottom, but I was like, no, I want the door open. So that is it. So Lori and Cheryl, thank you so much for your inspiration. And like I said, this is quite simple compared to what it looked, right? And it fit in your envelope. And again, I use the two largest one, okay? So the back, it's the largest, and then the designer series paper, and inside here, that is the number 2. So, any questions? So next week, we're going to do a Valentine card, and I'm going to be using this paper here. The 6x6, the new one, that's the paper I'm gonna be using. And that's the paper. And it's gonna be a fun fold. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm gonna do a fun fold with that. So now I lost, oh, here it is. I get such a mess here. So any question for me? And also next week, I'm also going to use to the stamp set of the month. So that is it, my friend. Till next time, happy stamping. Now I'm going to go check what's going on with that one. I think it moved. I got like a big like chest that I put my pellets in that. And I think that something got moved. I don't know. The wind was very bad. I know tomorrow it's 70 miles an hour again. So the gusts. So the wind been crazy but warm. It was 55 when I came back today from work. So it's crazy. So that is it. Till next time, happy stamping, my friend. Bye-bye for now.